nakita na po ba yung yung PowerPoint presentation ko po?
Yes, sir. Kita na po.
Okay. Right, so let's proceed with your new topic. So that will be your Gaussian elimination. So first, let's try to define what is Gaussian elimination. So for your Gaussian elimination, or this is also known as your naive Gaussian elimination, so this is a simple and systematic algorithm to solve linear systems of equations. So given that, let's say, for instance, we have here a certain number of unknown variables, then we can apply your naive Gaussian elimination to solve those unknown variables, such as the examples that I'll be showing you later on. So what's the reason why it is called Gaussian elimination? It's because when we say naive, because in reality, we don't consider division by zero to be a possibility. So instead, we try to ignore your division by zero. So we are going to follow our simple steps and procedures in your naive Gaussian elimination through dividing it by zero. So the reason why that we are canceling our equations through the means of zero, it's because of these processes. So what are the steps in your naive Gaussian elimination? So we have here two simple steps under Gaussian elimination. So we have here two. First is, of course, the equations were manipulated to eliminate one of the unknowns from the equations. So that is what you call your forward elimination process. And the result of this elimination step that was that we had one equation with one unknown. So in this case, our goal here is, of course, our last row in our matrix should be, or most probably will be, having one unknown and one constant. And then second, after that, we are going to have your back substitution. So consequently, this equation could be solved directly and the result back substituted into one of the original equations to solve for the remaining unknown. So in here, in our diagram, so we have here your two steps that will be your forward elimination and your back substitution. So for your Gaussian elimination process, our objective here is to eliminate our equations here so that we can find the unknown of our last row. For us to do that, we're going to form a triangle of zeros. So that's the reason why we're going to divide it by zero here, or we're going to assign zero in our rows so that we will be able to solve our last variable here, which is your x sub 3. So after solving for your x sub 3, then we can already go back to your second equation in your second row and substitute it to look for your unknown variable, and go back to your equation in the first row or in the first equation so that we can already solve for the unknown variable there, given that our variables here on the second row and on the third row are already been given. So let's try to have an example for your Gaussian elimination. So in here, I have prepared four sets of equations that also contains four unknowns. So let's try to consider four unknown variables here. So for your equation 1, we have here your w plus 2x minus y plus z equals 6. And then for your equation 2, that will be negative w plus x plus 2y minus z equals 3. For your equation 3, that will be 2w minus x plus 2y plus 2z equals 14. And for your equation 4, that will be w plus x minus y plus 2z equals 8. So as you can see here, in the four equations, we have here your four unknowns which are the variables W, X, Y, and Z. So in here, we are going to apply your naive Gaussian elimination. So for your for us to let's try to create first a simple matrix. So in order for us to create this matrix, that will be your first, that will be your 4 by 4 matrix. So let's try to divide it into your variables. Let's try to separate them into several variables. That will be your W, X, Y, and Z. And of course, we have here your constants. So for your W, X here on the second column, Y on the third column, and Z on the last column. And let's try to separate them between our constants. So let's try to form our matrix here. So if you're going to convert this into your matrix, that will be your 1, negative 1, 2, and 1. That will be under your variable W. So that will be in your first column. Then for your second column, that will be your variable X. So that will be 2, 1, negative 1, and 1. For the third column, that will be the variable Y. So that will be negative 1, 2, 2, and negative 1. And for your variable Z, that will be positive 1, negative 1, 2, and 2. So if you're going to compare it to the table that I've shown a while ago, you're just going to remove all those variables there and represent them as a numerical coefficient. So in there, I have converted it into a 4 by 4 matrix. And of course, another matrix here will be your constants. That will be your 6, 3, 14, and your 8. So if you're going to combine them both, that will serve as your augmented matrix. So for your augmented matrix, you're just going to attach your matrix. Let's say this is matrix A, and this is your matrix B. So you're just going to attach your matrix B on the right side of your matrix A. So that will be in the form of a 4 by 5 matrix. So we have here your 5 columns and 4 rows. Okay. And of course, we are going to have your ultimate goal in applying your naive Gaussian elimination is to make these variables here as 0. So this will be 0. And of course, we're going to assign one pivot number here. So for your pivot here, let's say that will be your 1. And this will serve as your pivot row. So for your pivot row, we will not be anymore changing our row over here. Instead, we'll be manipulating our second, third, and fourth rows for us to eliminate these variables on the lower left side of your matrix. Okay, so let us proceed with your method of elimination. So step 1, that will be your forward elimination. So how are we going to eliminate these variables here? So let's try to assign rows that that can be subtracted so that we can eliminate that particular row, and that will serve as the new row in our matrix. So let's try to combine our matrix here, assuming that your 6, 3, 4, and 8, or your matrix B will be attached to your matrix A. So in here, you're going to eliminate your, let's say the first variable here will be your variable 1. So instead of having variable 1 or a numeral coefficient 1, we'll just interchange this into a value of 0. So if I'm going to change that into 0, I'm going to look for a row that could eliminate your row 4, which is where your number 1 here is located. So it is located on row 4. So I'm going to subtract it from that row. So it's either of these rows over here, but what I've done is row 3 minus 2 multiplied by your row 4. So your row 3 here is your 2, -1, 2, and 2, and your constant, which is 14. So if I'm going to eliminate this, you're going to multiply it by 2, and you're going to subtract it from row 3. So let's try to multiply your row 4 into 2. So if you're going to, let's try to focus on the 2 rows here. So that will be your row 3 and row 4. And let's try to multiply it by 2. So row 4 multiplied by 2. So 1 multiplied by 2, that will become 2. 1 multiplied by 2, that will become 2. So -1 multiplied by 2, -2. 2 multiplied by 2, that will be 4. And 8 multiplied by 2 equals 16. So let's try to subtract it from our row 3. So let's try to minus. So 2 minus 2, of course, that will become 0. And same procedure as we did in our remaining columns. So that will become -1 minus 2, that will become -3. 2 minus -2, that will become 4. 2 minus 4, that will become -2. And 14 minus 16, that will become -2. Therefore, this row here will serve as your new row 4 in your matrix. So that will be your new matrix for us to proceed to the next step. Okay, so we already have here your 0 in your lower left portion of your matrix. So again, our ultimate goal here is to have your triangle of zeros. So the next procedure here is, let's try to eliminate your 2 here. So if you're going to eliminate your 2, you're going to okay, so what I've done here is you're going to subtract it from R1 and multiply it by 1/2 of your row 3. And the resulting row 3, that will be your new row for your matrix. Okay, so let's try to multiply it by 1/2. So if you're going to multiply it by 1/2, so let's try to focus on the 2 rows here. That will be your row 1 and row 3. So if you're going to multiply it by 1/2, that will be 2 multiplied by 1/2, that will become 1. So -1 multiplied by 0.5, that will be -0.5. 2 multiplied by 0.5, that will become 1. 2 multiplied by 0.5, that will become 1. And 14 divided by 2, that will become 7. So next step is you're going to subtract it from your first row, which is 1, 2, -1, 1, and 6. So we are going to subtract it. So of course, 1 and 1 will be canceled out. Therefore, that will become 0. So that will be 2 minus -0.5. That will become 2.5. -1 minus 1. That will become -2. 1 minus 1. That will be 0. And 6 minus 7. That will become -1. So this will serve as your new row here. So this will be your new row for your row 3. So as you can see, we already have your 2 zeros. So that will be your new matrix. And let's try to repeat the same procedure. You're going to eliminate your variables here to form a triangular set of zeros. So we have here your -1. Let's try to eliminate your -1 from your second column on second row in your first column. So I've decided to add row 1 and row 2. So if you're going to add them, so let's try to focus on those two rows here. So if you're going to add them, of course, 1 and negative 1 will be cancelled out. Therefore, it will become 0. 2 plus 1, that will become 3. Negative 1 plus 2, that will become positive 1. Positive 1 plus negative 1, that will become 0. And 6 plus 3 will be equal to 9. So therefore, this will serve as your new row 2. So that will be your 0, 3, 1, 0, and 9. So this will be placed under your row 2. Next. So we already have all of the zeros here in your first column. So we're not going to change your 1 here because this is your pivot. So instead, let's proceed to the second column. So in the second column, let's try to eliminate here your coefficient 3 or negative 3. So for us to eliminate your negative 3, you're going to add your R2 plus your R4. So 3 plus negative 3, obviously that will become 0. So let's try to focus on your two rows here and let's add them. So 0 minus 0 plus 0 is equal to 0, and 3 plus negative 3, that will be cancelled out, then that will be equal to 0. So 1 plus 4 equals 5, and 0 plus negative 2 is negative 2, and 9 plus negative 2 is equal to 7. So this will serve as your row 4. So interchanging this row into this one, so that will be your new matrix. Okay, so we already have here your 0 for your second column. Now let's proceed with your third column. So we are going to eliminate your 2.5. So for us to eliminate your 2.5, we can subtract it from your row 2 minus your multiplying row 3 with 1.2. So that will give you a value of 3 if you're going to multiply 1.2 of your 2.5. So let's try to focus our two rows here. That will be row 2 and row 3. And let's try to multiply your row 3 with 1.2. So 1.2 times 0 equals 0. 2.5 times 1.2, that will be 3. Negative 2 times 1.2, that will be 2.4. 0 times 1.2, that will become 0. And negative 1 times 1.2, that will be negative 1.2. Then we are going to subtract it. So let's try to focus on our new row here. That is multiplied. So let's try to subtract it from your row 2. So 0 minus 0, that will become 0. So your 3 minus 3, that will become 0. So that will be cancelled out. So that will be equal to 0. 1 minus negative 2.4, that will become 3.4. 0 minus 0, that will become 0. And 9 minus negative 1.2, that will become 10.2. So therefore, this will serve as your new row in your new row 3. So as you can see, we already have here your 0 here on the third row on the second column. So we are almost done with our goal. So after that, we are going to eliminate your last coefficient here. That will be your number 5. So let's try to eliminate your number 5 here. So for us to eliminate your number 5, we're going to multiply it by 0.68 to your row 4, and we're going to subtract it from your row 3. So from your row 3, so row 3, which is 3.4 minus 0.68 of your number 5, so that will be equal to your 3.4. So let's try to multiply it first. Let's focus on the two rows here. So if you're going to multiply 5 to 0.68, that will give you a value of 3.4. And then if you're going to multiply your your negative 2 to 0.68, that will give you a value of negative 1.36. And for your 7, if you're going to multiply it by your 0.68, then that will be, you will be having a value of 4.76. Then you're going to subtract it from your row 3. So 0 minus 0 equals 0. 0 minus 0 equals 0. So 3.4 minus 3.4, that will be canceled out. So that will be equal to 0. 0 minus negative 1.36, that will give you a value of 1.36. And 10.2 minus 4.76, that will be 5.44. So that will serve as your new row 4. So as you can see, we already have completed our set. And we can already proceed with your step 2, which is your back substitution. So we already have here your triangle of zeros in your lower left portion of your matrix. Then we can already try to apply your back substitution. So let's try to convert this in our equation form given our new matrix. So let's try to recall. Our first column is our variable W. Our second column is our variable X. Our third column is our variable Y. Your fourth column is your variable Z, and your last column will be your constants. So let's try to translate this in your equation form. So for your equation 1, it's just the same. We didn't touch our first equation because that is your pivot equation. So that will be your W plus 2x minus y plus z equals 6. Then for your new equation 2, we do not have a variable W. So we already have your 3x plus y, and we do not have your variable z. So that will be equal to your constant 9. Your equation 3, that will be 3.4y, because we do not have the variables w and x, including your variable z. So that will be equal to 10.2. And your equation 4, that will be 1.36z is equal to 5.44. So we do not have the variables w, x, and y under your new equation 4. So let's try to apply your back substitution. So based on the resulting equations, we can already apply your back substitution. So we can just cancel out your variables here. So let's try to solve for your z using your equation 4. So by the word itself, back substitution, first we are going to solve for the equation here on equation 4, then equation 3, equation 2, and equation 1, depending on the given variables here. So since we can already solve for your variable z directly, so we can already cancel out your or isolate your variable z by dividing both sides by 1.36. So 1.36z is equal to 5.44. Then we're going to cross multiply or divide both sides by 1.36. So therefore, your z will be equal to 4. So we already know that your variable z is equal to 4. Then we can already go back to your equation 3 and solve for your next variable, which is variable y. So fortunately, we do not have a variable z here, so we can already instantly solve for your variable y, even though we do not know the variable, the value of your variable z. Okay, so let's try to solve for your variable y using your equation 3. So that will be 3.4y is equal to 10.2. So y is equal to 10.2 all over 3.4. So if you're going to divide them, so y will be equal to 3. And that will be your variable y. Next, we already know the variables y and z. Now let's proceed with our equation 2 and substitute our variable y for us to solve for our variable x based on our equation 2. So let's try to solve for x using equation 2 and substituting the resulting variable y. So that will be 3x plus y equals 9. So let's try to isolate your variable x. So 3x is equal to 9 minus y. So we just transpose your variable y to the right side, giving your variable negative y on the right side of your equation. And then we are going to divide both sides by 3 for us to isolate your x. Then afterwards, since we already know the value of y, then you're going to substitute your variable y here in our equation. So that will be 9 minus 3. That will be equal to 6 all over 3. Then your x will be equal to 2. So that will be your variable x. So it will be equal to 2. So we already know the three variables x, y, and z. So we can already proceed with our equation 1. So let's try to substitute your variables in your equation 1 and isolate our variable w. So to solve for your w using equation 1 and substituting the resulting variables x, y, and z, so we are going to isolate your w. So this will be your equation 1. And let's try to isolate your w through transposing your variables. So that will be your 2x, that will become negative 2x here. And then your negative y, that will be positive y, and z, that will become negative z. So in here, let's try to substitute our equation. We already have solved for the variables x, y, and z. So we are going to place those variables here in our equation 1. Okay? And then let's try to evaluate further. So this will become 4. And then let's try to simplify it. So this will become 8. And then if you're going to add this will become 9. So 9 minus 8. So w will be equal to 1. Therefore, this will be the value of your w. Okay? So based on my research, I actually have a reference video for this one. So with regards to the reference video, the reference has a different way on eliminating their equations for us to have a triangular zero. But in here, I have presented a unique way. So with regards to my example or my method here, so in this method, I selected R3 minus twice of R4. So in other ways, you can also eliminate your variables, or you can also eliminate your variables here. Let's say if I'm going to eliminate my number 1, then I can also add R2. Okay, I can also add my R2 to my R4 so that I can already eliminate my 1 here. So it depends on you what will be the process, as long as your goal here is to have your zeros here. Okay, so I also have another way for us to solve your, or to have the correct answer in your systems of linear equations. So instead of using Gaussian elimination, I also tried to apply the activity a while ago. Okay, so with regards to my code over here, so I added your AW So that will be your matrix W here. So it's just the same. So for your matrix A and your B, that will be your constants. And then I have interchanged some of the columns here. So what I've done is your Kramer's rule of a method. So I'm going to determine the determinants, and then I'm going to divide it from the determinant of matrix A. Okay. I also tried using the method of using manual computation, but instead I tried to use Excel for this matter. So even if I use your Excel process through the use of your Kramer's rule, then I still have arrived at the same answer. So for your variable W, that will be equal to 1. Variable X will be equal to 2. Variable Y will be equal to 3. And variable Z will be equal to 4. Okay, so that will be the process of checking your answers if you had committed a mistake in your Gaussian elimination, since it is somehow a bit of complicated. If you have committed a simple mistake, then all of the processes will have an error. So instead, you can also apply your Kramer's rule to the means of your Excel, or you can also use your Octave program that has been given. Okay, so that will be all for my report. Are there any questions so far po?
Ano ba ating mga classmates? Wala naman. Supposedly, ang magpe-present ng kasunod mo is si Sir Gusto. Wala si Sir Gusto ngayon. So
Yes,
we'll
boss.
assign him another topic. So si Sir E now na, yung reduced row echelon form. Yes, sir. Ready ka po ba? Sir Charlton? Ang magpe-present si Sir. Sige po, sir. Take.
Kita na po yung screen?
Yes, sir. Sige po.
Sige po. So good afternoon, sir. Edmonds, good afternoon, class. So our topic for today is about the reduced row echelon form. So this is my presentation. I have outlined the activities that we are going to tackle. First, we are going to define the what is row reduction or the echelon form, and then what are the characteristic of row echelon matrix, then the characteristic of reduced row echelon matrix, then how do we identify the RREF or the reduced row echelon form, and then there are some problems that are to be discussed. Some are small and some are very long. I think we could focus on the the short ones, because some of the matrices really takes a lot of procedures now. So first, we are going to define what is this echelon. Let me clear first the word echelon. So on the left side there is this word from Oxford language. Echelon means a level or rank. Generally, it is the level in an organization or profession, society, or military. So, anong application nito sa atin sa matrix? Pinapakita lang nito yung rank or level ng mga row, no? So, ibig sabihin may kaisan yung row, at ito po yon, yung rectangular matrix is in echelon form if they have the following properties. Tatlo po yon. All non-zero rows are above any rows of all zero. So ulitin natin, yung mga non-zero daw kailangan nasa taas. So para makita natin. So etong nasa baba, the bottom row are all zero rows. So dito naman ay non-zero, no? Ibig sabihin, dapat yung mga non-zero rows ay nasa ibabaw at yung mga all zero rows ay nasa baba, no? Yung mga non-zero ay nasa taas para ma-satisfy natin. Then each leading entry of a row is in a column to the right of the leading entry of the row above. Kasi medyo nakakalito pag English. Ang pag tiningnan natin yung mga leading entry, no? Ibig sabihin yun yung mga non-zero, no? And then yung susunod, mapapansin nyo, eto, tong second row, makikita nyo parang may indented, no? Indented. No? Nasa kanan siya lagi. And then yung pangalawang row, pag tinignan nyo yung below, nasa kanan, no? To the right, indented to the right. So yun po ang ibig sabihin, no? Ito yun, each leading entry of a row is in a column to the right of the leading entry of the row above it, no? Mapapansin nyo yung nasa taas lagi, ba ito yon, nasa taas lagi, no? Nasa kanan to the right, no? Etong nasa taas, with reference to the most row, the above row, nasa kanan yung leading entry na naka-indent somehow. Yan. Then yung pangatlo po, all entries in a column below leading entry are all zero. So mapapansin nyo yung all entries in a column below a leading entry is zero. So pag tiningnan natin, no, ito yung leading entry, no, leading entry. Yung kanyang below are zero. Ito yung leading, so zero. Ito yung leading, so zero. So yun po yung tinatawag na echelon form. Ano naman yung reduced row echelon form, no? Kasi natapos na tayo sa echelon, no, or row echelon. Ano naman yung RREF?
Hello, sir.
Ay.
Bali yung kanina, yung present ni Sir Guchuy ko, ano siya, naka-row echelon form. Yung
Opo, naka-row
ginawa
echelon.
ni Sir Guchuy ko ng Gaussian elimination. So that
Opo,
is a row echelon form.
Row echelon form yung Gaussian. Tapos yung reduced row, yung reduced row parang ano rin po yun, na halos may kapareho sa Gauss Jordan po yata, no? Gauss Jordan.
Sabihin niyo lang, sir. Sige po.
Apo, ayan. So, yun. Ngayon pag tinuloy po natin yung pag dinagdagan pa natin ng mga ibang criteria, pwede na siyang maging reduced row echelon form in a way na mas stricto, because dito sa reduced row echelon form, bilang dagdag na mga criteria, the leading entry in each non-zero row is 1. So ibig sabihin, dapat ang leading entry, yung non-zero, ay makikita natin ay dapat 1, no? So ito, makita na dapat natin yung 1, no? Hindi 2, 3, 4, 5. Then another is each leading one is the only non-zero entry in each column. So tingnan natin po yan. Ay, nasa may example natin dito. Halimbawa, katulad ito. Ito po may leading entry dito, no? 1, no? So dapat 1 yan, no? And then for each column, after ng leading entry, nasa column na to, first column, 0 na lahat. Then ito ang leading entry ay 1. Then ang kanyang nasa baba ay 0 na lahat. So mapapansin nyo, doon sa present kanina Gaussian elimination, the triangle, the formation of triangle na 0 ay nasa baba lang. Pero dito sa reduced row echelon, yung mga entry niya ng leading entry na 0 yung mga ibang entry ba sa taas, sa baba, sa kanan, sa kaliwa. Okay, no? So yun po yung mga criteria ng reduced row echelon form. So we will have some example, no? Halimbawa itong 3x3. So we have 3x3. First, ito yung leading entry o yung tinatawag na pivot. Now, we should remember na yung pivot natin or yung leading entry should be a non-zero. So hindi pwedeng 0 dito sa first column ng first row. If ever na ang matrix ay may 0, pwede nating i-interchange, ipalit. Napapakita natin sa example mamaya. So makikita natin dito, yung leading entry natin ay eto, yung 1. And then sa below niya ay 0, no? And then here, sinabi natin na yung next na leading entry ay to the right, na nasa kanan. Ito na naka-indent to the right, no? And then here, makikita nyo yung kanyang baba ay 0, and then ito rin ay 0, and then yung non-zero, all non-zero rows, ibig sabihin row na lahat ay 0, laging nasa bottom. Yan. So punta tayo sa 4x4, no? Nakita natin dito. So ito yung ating leading entry. It should be a non-zero, which is 1, no? Susunod is 1, no? So 0 yung kanyang mga baba. And all non-zero are nasa baba. So 5x5, ganun din po. Ang leading entry ay 1, and then all the entries below should be 0. Tapos yung susunod niya ay indented to the right, indented to the right. At for every column, siya lang yung 1 lang na yon ang non-zero, no? So ito. Yan. Okay. So punta po tayo sa example. Halimbawa ito. It has something to do with the pivot also, which is explained by Sir kanina, yung nag-discuss ng Gaussian, no? So row reduce the matrix A below to echelon form and locate the pivots column of A. So we are instructed to reduce this in echelon form muna and locate the pivot. So dito meron tayong non-zero ay ito, no, 0, no? The top left most column and the row nag-uumpisa siya sa 0. So hindi siya pwedeng maging pivot, no? So we could interchange, no? So alin ang pwede nating ipalit dito sa 0, -3, 6, 4, 9. Pwede namang alin man dito, no? 1, 4, 5, -9, 7 and others, no? Basta hindi tayo pwedeng magkaroon ng 0 dito, no? Kung gagamitin natin siya as pivot, no? Sa leading entry. So ang ginawa natin, no? Para maging pivot siya, we get this last row 1, 4, 5, -9, -7. Ipinalit po natin, no? So let me get open. Ito po ay ipinalit natin. So this row, yan. Pinalit po natin doon, no? So yung last row mapupunta sa first row at yung first row na I think mapunta sa last row. Tingnan natin po yung susunod yan. So ito 'yon, no? 1, 4, 5, -9, 7, which is nandun sa last row kanina. Yan. Tapos yung 0, -3, -6, 4, 9, ito ay nilagay natin dito. No? So ito yung pivot column natin because it contains pivot point, no? Ito, which is a non-zero. No? Nas ngayon, katulad ng ginawa kanina ni Sir, pwede na nating no, dahil row echelon naman to, pwede nating mag-add tayo ng mga multiples para ma-zero natin yung mga susunod dito, no. So katulad ng ginawa dito, no. So dito for example, ang sabi dito add -5 half times row 2 to row 3 and add 3 half times row 2 to row 4. So ito po yun, no? Para mag 0, 0 yan, no? And then so on and so forth. Tapos pipili tayo ng next pivot. Ito, for example, this one. Ito naman yung pivot natin kasi na-0 siya tsaka naka-indent siya to the right. So gagawin din naman natin yung procedure na gano'n, no? Para mag-0. Yung ano tayo ng mga multiply natin and then iaano natin para mag-0 po siya. No? So nakita natin dito na ito yung naging natin na solution. No? May mga na-identify tayo na pivot column. Ito, yung 1, 2, 4. Ito yung mga pivot column natin kanina kasi hindi tayo pwedeng magkaroon ng pivot na all 0 eh. Yan, no? So what we did is transfer na naman natin tong last column at yung mga all 0 rows yun ang nilagay natin sa bottom. Kaya ito po yung nangyari. Ayan, no? So ito yung lahat ng 0. Ito naman yung transfer natin kanina. So ito na yung pwedeng maging pivot. So ano yung mga pivot point natin na nabanggit, no? So ito yung 1, no? The pivots example are 1. Ito po, 1. Tapos yung 2 kanina. Then kanina puro 0 to, hindi pwede. So pinalit natin yung nasa last row. So etong -5. Ito po, yan. Yan. So na-identify natin yung mga pivot entries tsaka pivot column. So ngayon punta naman tayo sa reduced row echelon form. Yun naman ang ating topic, no? So we have this instruction: apply elementary row operations to transform the following matrix first into echelon form and then into reduced echelon form. So ang pinapagawa sa atin, gawin muna natin yung echelon form and then i-apply natin yung pagiging reduced row echelon form. So ngayon, hindi natin pwedeng gamiting pivot, no? Yung first row tsaka at the first column, yung ito, no? Dahil ito ay 0. So hindi tayo pwedeng magkaroon ng 0. Ang gagawin natin ngayon, we can get some rows below, no? So, ano ba ang pwede nating piliin? Pwede nating piliin yung pangalawa, pwede nating piliin yung pangatlo. Wala namang issue, no? I think ang pinili dito sa sample ay itong last, na if I'm not mistaken. So, ang importante lang is we shouldn't have an entry na 0 as a pivot doon sa first row, first column as a pivot, no? So, ang ginawa ay eto, no? Etong ito po, 3, -9, 12, -9, 6, 15, no? I want you to focus here sa row na to. Yun ang ipapalit po dito sa pinakataas na row, no? Ano? Sabi dito, select a non-zero entry in the pivot column as a pivot. If necessary, interchange rows to move this entry into the pivot position, no? So yun ang ano natin. So ito po yun ang nangyari, no? So itong 3, -9, 12, -9, 6, 15 ay galing dito sa last row. Ang ginawa po natin, nilagay natin, no, we put this in the first row. And what's going to happen naman dito sa first row, kasi meron siyang 0, ipinalit po natin sa third row. Now, as you can see, ito po. 0, 3, -6, 6, 4, -5. So ito na yung ating pivot, no? So ang ginawa natin in a very short manner is yung tinatawag na row replacement, which we do also sa mga Gaussian tsaka yung row manipulation. So use row replacement operations to create zeros in all positions below the pivot. Kasi hindi tayo pwedeng magkaroon ng 0 sa unang-una pa lang, no? So ang motive natin ngayon ay maging 0 tong nasa baba ng pivot point natin, no? Tapos pupunta na tayo dun sa second pivot, dun sa second column, second row, and so on and so forth. So how do we do that? Ito, no? So ang motive natin ay ito po, no? So kailangan ma-achieve natin, no? Katulad ng ginawa ni Sir kanina, yung sa Gaussian elimination, dapat 0 itong mga nasa baba ng ng pivot, no? So madali lang naman 'yan, no, kasi may marami namang paraan diyan, no? So katulad nito, yung 3, no, para maging 0 to, pwede nating i-negative agad to, di ba? I-minus natin. So 3 minus 3 is 0. Then 9 minus 9 minus 7, ganun. Tapos 12 and so on, 8 is 4. So ganun po ang mangyari. Ang motive natin is maging 0 yan. Tapos susunod na naman tayo sa pangalawa, kung 0 na po ito, no, we made it 0, no? Ang next natin ay dito sa second column, then we're gonna use 2 as our pivot. Bakit? Kasi sa echelon form, the rule is dapat to the right, no? To the right ng topmost. Eto, no, tong second natin is to the right of the topmost. So naka-indent siya. Kasi ang ibig sabihin ng echelon is a French word meaning level, no, or yung parang stair, no, staircase, parang inverted na hagdan, no. So in the end parang magiging hagdan siya, no. So ang next pivot natin, no, after nito ay this one, no, tong 2. Yan. So what we're gonna do is we should cover the row containing the pivot position, this one, i-retain natin yan, and cover all rows if any above it. Apply steps 1 to 3 to submatrix that remains. Repeat the process until there are no more non-zero rows to modify. So ang mangyayari niyan, ito na po ang pivot natin katulad ng pinapaliwanag natin kanina, no? So ito na po yung 2, no? Kasi 0 na tong under ng 3. So dito na tayo na naka-focus, no? At ang pivot column natin etong second column. So ang intention natin ay gawing 0 naman 'to, no? So katulad ng ginawa ni Sir kanina yung sa Gaussian elimination. So how do we do that, no? We could insert an optional step of dividing the top row of the submatrix by the pivot 2, or instead we add -3/2, no? -3/2 times the top row to the row below. So ito yung mga pang-multiply natin ng mga ano para makakuha po tayo ng mga 0 sa baba nitong ating pivot, no. So in the end magiging ganyan siya, no. So ito. And so on and so forth. Yan. So sinasabi dito na ang pag pinagpatuloy po natin na ang pagpa-process natin, so magiging karamihan dito ay itong mga ito ay magiging 0 na, no, sa pagpapatuloy natin ng paggawa ng row echelon, no. Yan. Tapos eto na po yan, no? So yung row 1 plus -6 times row 3 katulad ng ginagawa natin, and ini-scale po natin, no, dividing by the pivot and so on and so forth. So ito, create a 0 in column 2. Ito kanina napansin nyo kanina, ito ay 3, -9, di ba? 3, ito ay -9. So ang intention natin ay gawin ding 0 to. Yan, no? So tingnan nyo po. Yan. Sabi nga natin yung sa row echelon form, no, ang 0 lang ay nasa below, no? Yung pinaliwanag kanina triangle. Pero here sa reduced row echelon form, we should also have 0 dito sa above, no? Sa above ng mga pivot natin. Kaya dito, paano naging 0 to from -9 yan. Ito, no, from -9, ito, no? Row 1 plus 9, no, times row 2. Yan. So ganun po ang ating mangyari, hindi na natin isa-isahin kasi nandito naman yung instruction, no. So row is scaled by 1/3. So pag in-scale natin ng 1/3, eto, no, so 72 divided by, kasi 1/3 is like times 1/3 is divided by 3, no. So 72, di ba, in 72 eto by 1/3, kaya naging 24. Ito ay 0, ito 9 times, di ba, 1/3. Pag in-scale natin ay magiging 3, no? 9. Ito po yon. Ito naman ay 6, di ba? times 1/3, in-scale natin ng 1/3, 6 divided by 3 or times 1/3, magiging -2. Yan, ito po. Yan, no? Kasi in-scale nga natin ng 1/3 o dinivide natin ng 1/3. So, in the end, ito na po yung reduced echelon form of the original matrix. Ngayon, meron pong mga sample sa sa doon sa MATLAB tsaka sa ginawan ko nakagawa ko ng program, yung sinundan ko yung binigay ni Sir na sa MATLAB tsaka sa sa Octave, no? Let me flash muna yung tingnan natin kung nandito. Kasi medyo nagloloko yung Octave ko, MATLAB na lang po ang ginamit ko. Nakikita ba, Sir, yung MATLAB? Nakita, class?
Ito naman, sir. Medyo maliit lang.
Maliit lang po. Okay. Anyway, ibibilisan ko lang po para lang maipakita yung no? Declare natin. Mag-randomize na lang ako, Sir Edmond. So, etong halimbawa, magic. Lagyan natin ng yung matrix na 5x5, yung tinuro ni Sir. So, this one. Halimbawa, meron tayong matrix na ganyan. Kita naman, Sir, yung yung matrix po.
Yes, sir.
So, we use the parang shortcut na magic 5. Bakit naging magic? Sabi nga ni Sir is all the summation of every row is the same, no? So, ang gagawin natin, kukunin natin yung reduced row echelon nito. So, we could have this program na reduced equals RREF of A. Ay, sorry. Tama ba? Yan. So, ibig sabihin, dinefine natin na yung reduce is RREF of A, and then yung A natin is yung yung eto po, yung galing sa matrix. So, pag in-enter natin, ayan na po. So, kaya lang dito sa MATLAB, Sir, hindi niya pinapakita yung behind the scene na yung calculation. Pero pinakita na the reduced row echelon form of this matrix A is this. So makikita natin, paano natin nalaman na reduced row echelon form to? Kasi unang-una, dapat non-zero yung first entry niya. Yung leading, it is so-called leading entry. Yung leading entry is non-zero, dapat 1. No? So ito, nakita natin 1. Yan. And all the entries below the leading entry or the pivot should be 0. So ito nakita natin 0 to, no? Tapos yung pangalawa niya na pivot ay indented to the right, no? Yung for example, ito yung reference natin na above, yung tong matrix na below, which is the second row, should be to the right of the above. So ito 1, no? Nakita natin the entries below the second pivot point are 0, no? All 0. And then ito rin 0 sa above niya, no? Tapos ito yung third pivot point, 0 din yung sa baba, no? Ang kaibahan niya, ulitin ko lang, sa echelon form, normally sa echelon form, yung baba lang ang zero out natin. Pero sa reduced row echelon form, more unique, more strict, kasi even the entries above the pivot points are all 0. So in this case, ang naging form ay diagonal, no? Nasa major diagonal siya. So para siyang may hagdan na step. Kasi yun naman talagang ibig sabihin ng echelon sa original na French po, yung level or steps. Yan. So hindi na pinakita. Meron din akong mga meron din akong mga yung pinasa ko rin kanina. Sandali. Pakita ko lang ng mabilis, Sir. Yung pinasa ko sa yung pinasa ko po na reduced echelon, medyo mahaba nga lang. Ito po, yung sample, nag-sample ako dito ng para lang ipakita. So this is our assignment sa reduced row echelon form ng matrix, no? Ito yung binigay ni Sir. So manual, tapos pinatakbo din sa sa MATLAB, no? So ito yung Gaussian, yung ni-report kanina, no? Gaussian. Yan. Nakikita nyo yung below na row, no? This is the pivot point or leading entry. The rows below the pivot point are becoming 0. Yan, no? So, yan po yung step by step na ginawa para para mapakita yung yung Gaussian elimination tsaka yung reduced row echelon form. So, ito po, may medyo sobrang haba lang, no? Tapos, ito yung pinatakbo ko na sa assignment natin. Ito po yung sa MATLAB, ito po yung niran ko na program, no? So, this is the matrix A. May horizontal siya pero separated by semicolons. Ibig sabihin, mag-a-arrange siya ng row by row, no? Tapos R, for example, R is like a reduced, no? Is RREF, reduced row echelon form of A. So, ang gagawin ng MATLAB ay eto, i-reduce row echelon yung form yung A, ipapasok niya sa R, which is the reduced, no? So, meron din tayong ginamit na disp or display, and then nakapasok sa apostrophe, the reduced row echelon form of the matrix is, no? Kaya pag dinisplay ang command ay disp R, you are trying to display the R is this, no? The reduced row echelon form of A. So, eto na po yung mangyari, no? The reduced row echelon form of the matrix is, kasi ito yung command sa MATLAB, and then ito po, no? Ito yung leading entry na pivot, all the zeros below are 0, and then yung next pivot, no? Below and above, no? Yung mga entries anywhere niya ay 0, and so on. So naging diagonal siya. So yung sa baba po, yun yung all 0, which is pasok sa criteria ng reduced row echelon. Ibig sabihin, sabi doon, kung may mga all 0, dapat yun na ang pinakababa ng mga non-zero. This is non-zero kasi may 1, this non-zero, mga non-zero yan. Pero ito lang yung all 0, which can be found at the bottom of the whole matrix, no? All non-zero rows, fourth row is all 0. So ayan po yung yung niran ko po sa sa MATLAB. So I think yun lang po sir yung to summarize, ang row echelon form ay first step, and then yung reduced row echelon form ay yung more strict matrix, kasi yung kanyang mga entries sa taas ay dapat 0 din, no? At ang mga entry niya ay dapat ay 1, no? Makikita natin dito bilang summary, ito. Yan. Sa mga sample, dapat 1 yung pivot or leading entry, no? Ng mga succeeding rows. Tapos yung above niya, dapat i-0 din natin, at yung below. Unlike yung row echelon, below lang po.